Beautiful weather. What I like about Miami this weekend, guys, is the teams are going to have to be very conscious. And I think, look, a lot of them are on the ball here. You know, they've got their procedures, their safety checks. They know what to do when certain scenarios come up. But one factor, especially because there's a sprint race this weekend, overheating. Now, I've been in Florida quite a few times. I know what the heat is there. It's not a dry heat. It's a very wet, humid heat. So overheating could be a factor this weekend. This will put the cars to the test this weekend and how well their reliability is when it comes to things like this. Now, again, we also have a sprint qualifying and a sprint race. So even that's more wear and tear on the car. So this could make things very, very interesting going forward this weekend, ladies and gents, because this could catch out quite a few of the teams. But again, like I'm saying, it's something they should know what to do. They should know how to challenge it, to battle it, and get through it. And look, it'll certainly put them to the test. And I think it's one of those tracks that will definitely, if there's any chink in the armor here, this will expose it with the overheating, especially when it comes to the engines, and especially down the back. In fact, let's have a look at the track here now, right? Now, when you look at the track, now let's just change over here. Now, when we look at the track here, guys, let's zoom in here. So when I mean the overheating, going through turn 16, you've got this huge long straight. They're going to be getting huge high speeds down here, over 200 miles an hour going down this long straight. So even that is pushing the car to the limit. And we've got a sprint qualifying. So this isn't practice 1, 2, and 3 and then qualifying 1, 2, and 3 where you do one lap and you're in, out. This is probably a 25 lap sprint race. So more wear and tear. Now, let's look at the track itself. Personally, guys, I think the most important corner on this track is turn 16. Now, we'll get to that in a second. Now, the importance of this track, where it really breaks down to, where you really need to be on it here, is this track is all about where you are positioned on the outside of the track. I'm sorry, the exit of the corners. So in other words, what I'm saying is that when you go to certain tracks have a certain nature to them, let's call it, right? And you've got to make sure that you carry as much speed into a corner, and then get into the apex, and then almost the rest of the corner will take care of itself. That can be some tracks. Now, this track is very smooth. Very smooth. There's a nice flow to it, except for a couple of the corners here as well, where, you know, turn 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, they're tight. But apart from that, there's quite a good rhythm to this track. So it's going to be interesting to gain that little extra bit of time and keep the momentum going. It's all about being as smooth as you possibly can. The track is a smooth track, unless they've resurfaced now, and we'll see at the weekend. It's a very smooth track, and you keep it smooth, carry the speed out of the bend. This is all about when you get the throttle on in the apex of the bend. If you get the throttle on at the perfect moment to launch that car out of the bend, and where your exit speed is, that's what's the key around here. Now, looking at it, the most important corner on the track, turn 16. Turn 16 is a very tight corner, as we can see here. And then they're going up this long straight, guys. And we even have a speed trap here. So it's going to be very, very cool for us to watch the speed traps and what speed they're doing. And it'll tell you too what kind of downforce or handling they have on the car. Now, personally, I think it's all about getting out of 16 smooth, getting down that straight as fast as you can. And the faster you are down that straight, the more time you're going to get and gain. Now, of course, you've got to get the balance, because you've got turn, let's see, you've got turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You've got a couple of corners here where they are slower than, they're not high speed. They're quick, but you're going to have very good handling on this track. So what the drivers and the teams are going to have to really focus on this weekend is the mechanical grip, shock absorbers, the springs, weight transfer between the front and back. So in other words, in the springs we call it bump and rebound. Bump is when the weight goes down. Okay? It goes bumping down to the ground. Rebound is when it kicks back up again. So the balance between bump and rebound is going to be very, very important, because sometimes even using the throttle, going on and off the throttle, if you're going through a quick corner and you're loaded up but all of a sudden you lift off, right? There's a weight transfer in the car. So the car could dip down into the front, giving you more grip. So these little tiny elements are going to have to be very crucial, because the more mechanical grip you get here this weekend, the better it is going forward, because the more mechanical grip you get, the less aero grip you have. Therefore, you'll be quicker down that straight, which is very, very important. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this weekend. It's hard to pinpoint how much downforce they'll have on, depending on how their car is set up, depending on how they treat it. But we'll see, and that's what makes this weekend exciting, you know? So it makes it exciting, it's great to see. Okay, let's move on to the championship points.
Walsh running the Irish green, and look at the move he's making down to the inside.
Moves to the front from 5th all the way to the lead in lap 1.
Walsh takes win number 2.
Peter Walsh.